In the year 1840, the Texas frontier was a realm where the raw wilderness mirrored the tempest of human ambition. Its sweeping plains, jagged mesas, and serpentine rivers bore silent witness to the relentless strife between settlers, soldiers, and native tribes. Central to this enduring conflict were the Comanche, a people whose unparalleled horsemanship and mastery of warfare crowned them sovereigns of the southern plains. For settlers striving to survive in this unforgiving terrain, endurance alone was insufficient. It demanded unyielding vigilance, unshakable courage, and an intimate connection with an environment as unpredictable as it was perilous. Amid this landscape of danger and opportunity emerged a new generation of Texas Rangers, men driven not only to safeguard their homes, but to etch their legacies into the annals of history. Among their ranks stood William Alexander Anderson Wallace, better known as Bigfoot Wallace. At just 23 years old, Wallace was determined to prove himself, though the sting of humiliation still lingered after a disastrous encounter with the Comanche. His path, however, would soon intertwine with that of another remarkable figure, Jeff Turner, the Mountain Man, a soul molded by tragedy, vengeance, and an unrelenting quest for justice. The Zumwalt settlement, like many on the South Texas frontier, stood as a testament to both resilience and risk. Isolated and exposed, it relied entirely on the tenacity and unity of its inhabitants. Choosing to dwell in such a remote and treacherous place was both an act of profound bravery and a wager against destiny. The settlement itself was a patchwork of modest wooden cabins, rough-hewn fences, and sparse fields of crops struggling to thrive under the punishing climate. To those who called it home, this land was both a beacon of promise and a crucible of peril. The fertile soil of the frontier held the promise of abundant harvests, but its precarious location on the edge of Comanche territory meant that every tilled field and every raised cabin stood as an act of defiance. The settlers lived in the shadow of constant danger, their lives governed by a fragile balance between hope and dread. When a group of young Texas Rangers arrived at the settlement, their saddles slung over weary shoulders after losing their horses to a Comanche raiding party, the settlers' unease was palpable. Without their mounts, the Rangers were not only ineffective but a burden, an embarrassment further deepened by the settlers' stoic disappointment. It was evident to all that the situation demanded swift and decisive action. To grasp the full weight of the Rangers' mission, one must delve into the world of the Comanche, the undisputed lords of the southern plains. The Comanche were far more than warriors. They were master tacticians, skilled diplomats, and astute traders, deeply intertwined with the land they ruled. Their rise to dominance hinged on two revolutionary tools, the horse and the firearm. By the late 17th century, the Comanche had become unrivaled horsemen and had integrated firearms into their arsenal, obtained through trade with European settlers and neighboring tribes. These innovations transformed them from a small band of hunter-gatherers into a vast and formidable empire. However, their supremacy was not built solely on martial skill. The Comanche thrived on adaptability and resilience, excelling as negotiators who forged alliances with some tribes even as they waged war against others. They controlled vital trade routes, serving as intermediaries between diverse native groups and European settlers. Their raids, though often brutal, were calculated endeavors designed to secure horses, captives, and resources essential to their survival and prosperity. To settlers and soldiers alike, the Comanche were both a legendary foe and a living nightmare. Stories of their exploits, often embellished for dramatic effect, cast them as invincible, almost mythical figures. This dual image of awe and terror drove the Rangers' resolve to confront them while amplifying the psychological toll of life lived in their shadow. Among those shaped by the violence of the frontier was Jeff Turner, a man whose tragic history set him apart. His wife and 3 sons had been killed in a Comanche raid, a tragedy not uncommon in its brutality, but extraordinary in its aftermath. Where many might have succumbed to despair or sought safety elsewhere, Turner chose a different path, a relentless pursuit of vengeance that defined his existence. To the Rangers, Jeff Turner was an enigmatic figure, both revered and unsettling. His rugged appearance, antiquated weapons, and stoic silence set him apart, a man untethered from the comforts of civilization. But it was his eyes that left an indelible mark, piercing and relentless. They seemed to peer beyond the immediate, into a world where past grievances demanded vengeance. Turner's crusade was no mere vendetta. It was an existential mission. Each scalp he claimed symbolized defiance against a cruel world that had stripped him of everything. Yet beneath his hardened resolve lay an unspoken tragedy. Turner's relentless quest for retribution perpetuated the very cycle of violence he sought to escape. To the Rangers, Turner's presence was both an asset and a liability. His unparalleled knowledge of the land and the Comanche was indispensable, but his unyielding pursuit of revenge often jeopardized the group. His actions posed unsettling questions about the morality of frontier justice and the profound cost of pursuing it. The chase was a grueling test of will and skill. Tracking the Comanche, masters of the plains, was no small feat. Their uncanny ability to obscure their trails made them elusive prey. Yet, under Turner's leadership, the Rangers began to close in. The pursuit was a relentless grind, blending endurance and strategy. Days blurred into nights under the scorching sun as they followed faint traces. A snapped twig, a patch of disturbed earth, the faint imprint of a hoof. For Turner, it was an opportunity to showcase his expertise, while for the young Rangers, it was a humbling education in the stark realities of the frontier. As the gap between hunter and hunted narrowed, the tension grew palpable. The Comanche raiding party, though small, was formidable, and the Rangers understood that a single misstep could transform the chase into a deadly ambush. The pursuit demanded patience, discipline, and a precarious balance between courage and caution, a harsh lesson in the razor-thin divide between valor and recklessness. When the Rangers finally caught up to the Comanche, the clash was as swift as it was brutal. The ambush, executed under Turner's direction, initially tipped the scales in their favor. Yet the Comanche, true to their fierce reputation, retaliated with unrelenting ferocity. The battle descended into a chaotic maelstrom of gunfire, whizzing arrows, and brutal hand-to-hand combat. For Wallace and his fellow Rangers, it was a searing trial by fire. Romanticized notions of heroism were swiftly dispelled amidst the blood-soaked reality of the Comanche's resistance. Each Ranger faced their own fears and limitations, survival hinging on their capacity to adapt in the midst of chaos. Turner, however, was an unstoppable force. His movements were precise, his determination unshaken, as though every swing of his blade and pull of his trigger was driven by the weight of his tragic past. Turner moved through the battlefield with an almost otherworldly precision, his every action honed by years of hard-earned experience and an unbreakable resolve. His scalping of fallen Comanche warriors, while grim and unsettling, was a stark reminder of the brutal and unforgiving nature of frontier warfare. Aftermath and reflection as the smoke settled and the final echoes of gunfire faded into silence, the Rangers assessed the toll of their victory. They had recovered some of their stolen horses and inflicted severe losses on the Comanche, yet the cost was evident in their weary, battered bodies and the haunted look in their eyes. For many, the battle shattered any lingering illusions about the romanticized life on the frontier. The reality was far grittier, a world where survival demanded unflinching brutality. Turner, however, displayed no sense of triumph. For him, the skirmish was not a cause for celebration, but merely another grim step in his relentless pursuit of vengeance. That night, as the Rangers gathered around the campfire, sharing tales and attempting to lighten the somber mood, Turner sat apart, silent and inscrutable, his thoughts an enigma even to those who fought beside him. Legacy and lessons. The story of Bigfoot Wallace, Jeff Turner, and the Comanche transcends a mere account of frontier conflict. It embodies the broader struggle for survival and supremacy in the untamed American West. It is a tale of cultural clashes, personal vendettas, and the tangled web of heroism and savagery that defined an era. For Wallace, the encounter with Turner was a profound turning point, shaping his understanding of the frontier and the people who navigated its harsh realities. For Turner, it was yet another chapter in a life consumed by loss and revenge, a life that, despite its violence, bore the heavy weight of humanity and its contradictions. In the end, their story serves as a powerful reminder that history is not merely a series of events, but a rich tapestry of individual lives. Each thread is woven with acts of courage, moments of tragedy, and the indomitable spirit of those who came before us, leaving behind lessons that resonate across time. Thank you for watching the video until the end. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any new videos from us. What do you think about today's topic? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found the video helpful, feel free to share it with your friends and family. We hope you had a great time. See you in the next video with even more exciting content. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.